Hello and welcome everyone. This is Lunar Goddess Tarot. Welcome into the channel, and if you're new, please do have a look around. I am a channel for the divine feminine and divine masculine energies. Those of you who identify as a twin soul or as a light worker or star seed will find my readings very beneficial and helpful. I am a guide and I am a star seed, a light worker, and a twin soul myself. Many of us have chosen many hats to wear in this lifetime for the purpose of raising the ascension of the planet. So my purpose here is to help you find your purpose, help you find your path, and to illuminate the path that we are on with regards to what is happening in the world. Pardon me. I've still got a lot of throat chakra healing going on. What is happening in your divine counterpart connection, whether that be with your twin soul, with a higher level soulmate, or a kindred spirit, because those connections will operate and look almost identical to one another. Or whether it just be you deepening your relationship with yourself. While I don't offer personal readings at this time, and I'm not sure when I will or if I will, what I do offer with a fellow incredible healer and light worker is healing sessions. So we have healing sessions where you get 2-on-1, two of us and obviously one of you. And we work on healing inner child work. We work on healing trauma. We work on answering questions you have about your journey, about your purpose, why you're here, and getting you to that place where you feel more confident, more empowered, and just really more at peace with your journey. So you can check out my website for that information. And what else? I think that's about it as far as the introduction. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into the card reading or channeled portion of the video here. So it's interesting because I'm really called to work with certain cards on certain days. Today I'm called to work with the integration deck. I'm called to work with the goddess deck, the spirit of the animal deck, and also the sacred forest deck. So these are very magical cards and magical decks that I'm being called to work with. You know, we're in this eclipse portal. We're about to hit the 12-12 portal. We've gone through the 8-8 portal, 10-10, 11-11, etc. And we're about to hit this portal that is really closing out a cycle, closing out this year. And it's an interesting time to be in human form, as we all are experiencing. And it's an interesting time to be a twin soul for sure. Many twin souls are in some form of physical separation at this time. And I do see that shifting and changing in 2022 and beyond, really through 2024 and continuing as the planet requires the physical unions. But the spiritual union and the inner union is where everyone needs to be, and that should be everyone's goal at this time, is coming into that inner union where you're at peace within yourself and you're not seeking anything or anyone outside of yourself. So on that note, we're going to get started with the goddess deck here. If you guys are interested in the energies of this month of eclipse season, go ahead on over to Patreon and check out my written reading there. I mainly offer written readings over there. Writing is, it's a form of healing. It's very therapeutic for me, but it's also one of my passions and one of my gifts. So I talk a lot about what's going on, why you may be feeling apathetic or detached or even in this kind of floaty trance-like state right now. I talk about that. I talk about the divine masculine energies. I talk about the divine feminine energies. I talk about a little bit what's happening on the planet, and just gives you some insight into why it is that you're feeling that way, because it's definitely a trance-like, void-like state in the month of December, and it's going to continue through the month of December. You might not even feel like celebrating the holidays this year. It might just feel very like mundane, 3D. And so just honor where it is that you're at without judgment. So we're going to just check in with the divine feminine energies here. And all right. Okay. So it looks like you've got a few goddesses here. who are guiding you on your path and your journey. It looks like you've got 3. So we have Epona, who's a Celtic goddess, Spider Woman, she's associated with the Native American tribes, and then Demeter, who's Greek. So we've got Greek, Celtic, and Native American energies here. We're going to start with Demeter. So Demeter is a Greek goddess, and she's known as the ancient Greek great mother goddess. She's a goddess of life and death. And if you guys have been following my readings, you know that we're playing out this scorpionic theme right now. We're not in Scorpio season, we're in Sagittarius season, but we're playing out this very scorpionic theme of life and death, and the phoenix rising from the ashes as well. And so what we're seeing with that is we're seeing many parts of us, and again, I talk about this over on Patreon in much more detail, but parts of us dying, parts of us falling away. And what that looks like ultimately is, or what it feels like rather, is it just feels like you don't know who you are. You don't know, there are certain things where you would have really loved certain foods or loved certain hobbies or activities, and now you're finding that you are just bored with those activities or those hobbies. So it's interesting to see her show up, but I'm not at all surprised. And if you look at you can really check out the image here. She's got different faces here, and you see kind of the wings here. So it's almost like it's different versions of her, different variations, different phases, different chapters of Demeter. So when the Greeks talked about her, they talked about her as the giver of fruitfulness and abundance and the provider of agriculture. Her daughter is Persephone. So if you're a Greek culture fan, you'll know that she had Persephone, and they were called the goddesses. So together, Persephone and Demeter were called the goddesses, and they represent the continuous cycle, the continuity of life and death. We bear fruit, we lose fruit, right? We give and we take. The sun and the moon, hot and cold. It's kind of like those dichotomies that exist in life, right? Sad and happy, loss and gain. So Demeter is remembered primarily for her great love for her daughter. When Persephone was abducted by Hades, now Hades is the god of the underworld, Demeter's grief caused the whole earth to go barren. Here we see Demeter ready to give birth, to produce life. So she is in the form right now where she has, if you can see, a swollen belly, and she's ready to produce life again. So this is about hope, guys. This is about fruitfulness and abundance. But this is a message for some of you in particular, especially if you're feeling hopeless throughout this journey. And this is to reinstill your hope in yourself and your counterpart in the journey, and just really, again, in life itself, and why we're here and our mission on this planet. Now, going over to Spider Woman, it's interesting because goddesses are often, they're sacred beings and sacred depictions. But also sometimes goddesses can be depicted as malevolent, right, instead of benevolent. And so usually she is pictured as, a good goddess, as a goddess of good. But then sometimes you might see her as, there's like this scary energy associated with spiders. So guys, I'm having trouble finding my words. So that's something that's coming up as well as my throat is healing. So forgive me for kind of stumbling here, but it's not brain fog. I'm just having trouble speaking. So the Spider Woman, she creates by dreaming, she creates by thinking, she creates with a story. She taught people how to plant seeds. So Cherokee grandmother Spider brought people the sun and fire. She taught them pottery, weaving, and how to make ceremonial blessings. Spider Woman is responsible for bringing fire among the Pueblo, Tiwa, and Kiwa tribes. A Spider Woman named Biliku, found in the Indian subcontinent, also brought fire and light. For the Hopi, Spider Woman is a creator who helps the people during their emergence, created the moon, has the power to give and take life, and is connected to hunting and agriculture. So we have two goddesses here connected to life and death and agriculture, Demeter and Spider Woman. So this is very interesting that, again, the theme of life and death is being played out here. Spider Woman is a reminder that good comes from everywhere. Even the lowly spider, sometimes dismissed as irrelevant, has the power to create and teach. I don't know how you could even consider a spider irrelevant. Spiders are so magical. And if you've ever had the pleasure of watching an orb weaver spider, I can't talk, guys. An orb weaver spider weave its web, you'll know that it's a magnificent creation of art. They weave it every night. It takes them about an hour or so, and then they destroy it every morning. And so every night they have to remake this web, and it's intricate and it's beautiful, and it's a big, big web that they spin. So just, you know, appreciating all aspects of nature and life and forms of life. I don't know how anyone could dismiss the spider, or again, some people again see the spider as kind of like a negative energy. I don't understand that. Spiders are incredible, incredible beings, as are snakes. So we have Eponia, again, who's a Celtic goddess. She's a protector of horses, and horses have been coming up for the divine feminine. Horses signify freedom. They've been coming up for the DF as well as for the joint energy, the union energy, but they do signify freedom. It's an earth and a fire energy, so passion, but also groundedness. And it says she was the only Celtic goddess to be adopted by the Romans. So that's something, I remember studying about this too back in college, and that's something to definitely write home about. You know, she was the only Celtic goddess that was honored and revered by the Romans. So she is a lunar goddess, and she's often depicted with a cornucopia, a symbol of abundance and plenty. So again, we have two goddesses, you know, symbol of abundance, a symbol of hope, a symbol of fertility. Very, very interesting. So this is about bringing hope back, divine feminine. Like the symbol of the horse, she is a bringer of fertility, a source of inspiration, and a figure of death, a psychopomp on the soul's final journey. So interesting. So death and life, death and rebirth, very, very constant themes right now in the journey. As late as the 12th century, Irish kings underwent a ceremony of symbolic birth from Eponia in her form of a white mare as part of claiming their kingship. In ancient days, a king was ritually wedded to the goddess as part of becoming king. Very interesting, very interesting. So she's comfortable both in the realms of life and death, as are Spider Woman, as is Demeter. So in Persephone, obviously, Persephone, who was taken by Hades, again, the god of the underworld, and causing the whole earth to go black, right? Causing everything to sort of go dark and go infertile, if you will. These goddesses are very powerful, but they're here to remind us that on this journey right now, what you're experiencing is very real. And if you're feeling like you're losing parts of yourself, or you're losing relationships or friendships or jobs or money right now, please, please go within, get grounded. It's not even necessarily a time to meditate in the month of December. It's a time to just stand still. It's a time to stand still. And if you want some individual coaching and guidance, reach out to me either through the website or reach out through my email. We do have current prices. Those are only running through the month of December, and those prices are going to go up in January 2022. So January 1st, actually. So if you're interested, you would want to book now. So we work with you in 3 sessions, a minimum of 3 sessions. You purchase them by 3 sessions. And we do that. It's very purposeful. We need at least 3 sessions in order to really see a change in the clients. And right now, there's a lot of integration happening for a lot of you. There's also a lot of abundance coming through. There's a lot of that fertility energy. There's also a lot of healing going on. There's a ton of healing of the chakras, of the energy systems. You might notice chronic health conditions starting to heal right now. Okay, as you purge, as you have released so much in the past, really 2 years, and as the eclipse cycle closes out the past 18 months. All right. Okay. I am just trying to get one card here. There we go. Figure of Thorns, uncertainty. Right, so if you're feeling uncertain or hopeless, you can call on Demeter, you can call on Spider Woman, you can call on Eponia. So these goddesses are here, guys. You know, your guides, the goddesses, the ancestors, your star family, they're all here to help you and to guide you, but you have to call on them and ask them. Your blue light beings, your white light beings. Okay, everybody has a team. of white light beings. Some of you have a team of blue light beings. Some of you have, everybody has a God spark or God particle. Some of you have a second God particle that can be activated in this lifetime with the help of your blue light beings in your team. So you learn more about that when you go into your Akash. But there's a lot of uncertainty right now. So a lot of people are unsure of their purpose, unsure of their path, unsure of their counterpart. A lot of what's coming up in the collective is, did I make this up? Was this ever even real? So I want you guys to go really deep this month. Stand still, less action. Don't do any hardcore exercises or workouts. Just relax, enjoy the energy as much as you can. It's not necessarily the most enjoyable energy, but sit with it. Allow the uncertainty to be there without having to explain it to yourself or having to even understand it. So the divine masculines are focused on family, wolf spirit. So they're focused on family this holiday season and what family means. I feel like they're reinventing the wheel when it comes to family. Like, they're realizing who their tribe is, who their tried and true people are, who they can truly trust, and it's not who they thought. They're also realizing that the feminine is family. So what happens, guys, just so you know, when a masculine decides to commit to a karmic partner but won't commit to the divine feminine, what's happening is they may recognize the connection, but they can sometimes see the feminine as family. They sometimes don't feel the same intensity or passion they feel with a karmic, because there's the karma. Yes, there's karma between twins, but it's different than a karmic partner. That tends to be very toxic. It's never toxic between twins. And so they if their wounds, match the karmic person's wounds, they're going to be attracted to that person. They're going to call it love, but it's really just lust. With the feminine, it's true love, and they don't know how to accept that because they've never been taught how to accept true love, how to give it, how to receive it. They don't know how to love, they don't know how to receive it. And so what they're realizing now is the bonds of family, the bonds of this connection, and how it goes much, much deeper than lust. And so if your counterpart used to come through very sexual, it's because that's how they show love. That's how they knew how to connect, and they thought that that was love. And the feminine showed them, no, love is more. Love is devotion. Love is loyalty. Love is friendship. Love is connection. But they needed to learn some lessons, and I know how challenging that can be when there's a karmic situation. So I want you guys to understand that if your masculine is involved in a karmic situation, not to take it personally, but to understand that they're learning, maybe for the first time, what true family is, what that means, what that looks like, and how to really identify with who is truly on their side, who has their best interest at heart. And it's most definitely not the karmic partners. Okay, there's a lot of infidelity happening with the karmic partners, and the masculines know this. They've just been turning a blind eye, and they're starting to realize the feminine would never be disloyal. The feminine would never turn their backs on the masculine. And the times where the feminine has, it's because they've shown self-love. It's not because they're trying to hurt the masculine, or they're lying or cheating or being deceptive in any way. They're doing it out of protection and out of self-love, and the masculine respects that. So there's a definitive energy here of the masculine really coming to terms with the truth of these karmic connections and realizing that family doesn't have to be related by blood, that friends and soulmates can be true family too. They're starting to understand where they feel safe, who makes them feel safe, and which company they want to keep, and who they can communicate their truth to. Like, I feel like the masculines are trying to communicate their truth to the karmic partners right now, and what's happening is the karmic partners are like, what are you talking about? They don't have the depth or sincerity that the feminine has, so they don't know how to accept this information, this spiritual journey. They're very superficial, materialistic, and the masculines are realizing, well, maybe I can make this work if I can make them be spiritual, if I can make them understand this part of me that they've suppressed for so long. and it's not working. It's like fitting a square peg into a round hole, as I've often said. The masculine is very loyal, okay? He's been loyal to the feminine the whole time in his heart, even if he's physically been with other people. He's never forgotten the feminine. He's never truly given his heart away to anybody else. So the masculine is starting to realize who his soul tribe is and how he feels supported, who really and truly supports him. The feminine has always supported him. He just didn't realize it in the past. Phoenix transformation, yeah. So this is a card for everyone, for the collective. It's what everyone is going through. Everyone is going through this intense and deep, long-lasting transformation. It's also a transmutation. It's a burning away of what doesn't serve. It's a burning away of parts of you that just don't serve you as well. And then we have stag spirit leadership. So this energy of the true divine masculine and its true power is coming up here, guys. So yeah, the true masculine who comes up to say, you know, I don't operate in distortion. I won't allow those lower level energies to exist. I operate from a place of authenticity and integrity and loyalty, and just honor. There's an honor that comes through here, that comes through this image. There's also a light that comes through the darkness. So the masculine energy of the world is, starting to shine a light on their darkness and their traumas and their shadows, following in the footsteps of the feminine. That's really what's happening, is the masculine is going to this place of really understanding what true healing is, and understanding, again, who is on his side and who isn't, and who, not only that, but who has been hindering his progress and his healing. How he's repeated patterns. He's starting to realize, I've repeated patterns. I've chosen the same person. For instance, if your masculine was married or was in a long-term relationship, got out of that and went into another karmic relationship, and the feminine's like, what the fuck? What happened there is your masculine repeated a pattern. He needed to heal that. He hadn't yet understood that he was choosing the same person over and over again in different bodies. Feminine, you might be able to go back and recognize where you have done that in the past, where you've chosen the same person over and over again, but just in different bodies. And so that's what the masculine is going through now, is like, wait a minute. Like the recognition of his patterns, of his vices, of his toxic patterns, of this is the same person. This person is my ex-partner all over again. And they couldn't see it because they were too wrapped up in the lust. They were too wrapped up in, the sexual energy. And I know that's painful and triggering to hear, feminine, but I'm just telling you, like, this is the truth of the matter, as what the masculine is going through is it's never been about true love. It is about a wound matching a wound, and you stopped matching that wound, feminine, because you outgrew that wound. You healed that wound. You couldn't be the masculine. Honestly, you wouldn't want to be with your masculine right now at this point in time if they're still healing those old wounds, because you would not be able to tolerate it. It would not work, guys. And I think you guys know that. I really think that you guys understand that, but it can still be triggering. It can still be painful and challenging all the same. So look at the karmic partner as a lesson. So the masculines are, again, up in those higher chakras, and they're honing in on their true intuition. I feel like they're praying to the sky or the stars at night. They're looking up at the stars and the moon, and they're trying to connect to the feminine. And the feminine is sort of like, it's not that the connection is dead in the water for her. It's that she's just made other things a priority right now. She had to make other people and other things a priority that were truly willing to make her a priority and truly willing to meet her on the level that she's at. That there's a sense of longing here, but there's also a sense of knowingness, of starting to remember where he came from and why he's here in a more powerful and a more clear and crisp way. And then the future card, guys, this is that third eye chakra. So it's about the clarity coming through, the visions coming through of the future. He's starting to see visions of the future with you, and his future of, I feel like they're giving him visions of, if you continue on your current path, this is what's going to happen. This is a destructive path, the destructive tendencies that you're embodying right now. This is where it's going to lead you. If you heal those addictions, if you walk away from that, toxic connection, relationship, work, job, addiction, whatever that might be, pattern, okay, thought process, this is what's going to happen. And, opening up the doors of possibilities. And there stands the feminine. But it's only a possibility at this time because the masculine has to listen to his intuition. It's not a guaranteed. And I think that's what the masculine is being shown, is it's your feminine, where he used to think it was a guarantee that he could just go off and do what he wanted to do and sort of live his life and then always come back and find the feminine waiting for him. The feminine's not waiting anymore. And so it's really, really led him down this path of, I really need to decide what's worth it to me and what's really important in my life. I really need to make a change because my feminine may not always be there. And there's that breakthrough card again, guys. So this breakthrough card of the throat chakra. And this is why some of you might be having scratchy, itchy throats, sore throats, coughing, dry cough, etc. Is because there's a breakthrough coming where the masculine again has really realized, okay, what I have created and where I'm being led. And I don't like where I'm being led. I don't like this possible future path that I'm creating for myself. It's very destructive and it's very toxic. The masculine used to identify toxic with love. If it was toxic in some way, it was love. And the feminine, again, you might think back and realize how you have done that too. If your masculine is reflecting this or mirroring this, this is like past behaviors or past patterns that you exhibited, but you have healed from that. And now you see toxic behaviors and patterns as very off-putting and very much something that you are not attracted to. In fact, you run from those things. You now run from toxic behavior patterns, which is why you shut the door on the masculine temporarily, is because you said, I will not tolerate those toxic behaviors. No, I will not do this. Someone else may allow this, but I won't. So the masculine went back to the person that allowed that because they had to run it through its course. They had to learn that lesson. They had to figure out that they were repeating these toxic, nasty patterns, and that they had the tendency to really self-abandon. Because when you self-abandon when you're in a toxic relationship, you absolutely self-abandon. That's not self-love. It's the opposite. They're realizing also how the feminine showed them love and how this toxic person is showing love, okay? Toxic people will put you down. Toxic people will not only put you down, they will demean you, which is what's been happening here. They will make you feel like shit about yourself because they are unhealed. This is a karmic partner that is not spiritual, that is not healed, that is not even aware of their traumas. It's very materialistic and vindictive. So feminine, you're working here on soul expansion, and yeah, that card keeps on popping up, the present moment. So we've got the third eye here and we've got the solar plexus. So you're working on being very present, where the masculine's like looking into the future, is intuition, having this ginormous breakthrough in communication, breakthrough in speaking their truth and living their truth. The feminine's over here working on herself, working on her soul, working on self-worth. And it's like a self journey, a journey to the self through the self, and passing through those barriers and obstacles that were maybe once held you back. Feminine, you're now you're aware of that, and you're able to move forward quite lightly and quite quickly. You're present for what's going on and what's right in front of you. It's very much for the feminine, like, I can't focus too much in the future. I just have to focus on what's going on right now. This is all I have the energy or time for. It's like the feminine saying, I don't have the energy for games. I don't have the energy for drama. I don't have the energy for half-assed anything. I don't even have the energy for conversations that are just superficial. If you want to have a conversation with me, I'm here, I'm available, but it needs to be meaningful. Right now, it's all about meaning for the feminine. Give me meaning, you know, give me soul, right? I'm expanding my soul here. I am no longer dimming my light for anybody. Look how bright this light is. All right, guys, so I'm going to stop the reading there because my throat is kind of killing me, but I wanted to give you guys some insight for today as we head into closer to the weekend here, and I wanted just to check in with the energies of the collective, of the feminine and masculine, and I hope you've enjoyed this reading. If you have, please give it a like and please subscribe to the channel. Go over and check out Patreon. And if you're interested in that individualized reading and healing, you can click on the website or email me for more info. Talk to you guys later. Take care.